As you guys know, Hytale's blessed the community with 4 blog posts. Yes, you heard that right, 4 blog posts. And today we're going to be going into depth on only one of those blog posts, the graphics update post. We believe there's so much more from these blog posts that many people might have missed as they just skim through them. Well, today we'll be talking about everything you might have missed while reading the graphics update post. With that being said, my name is Natsu, and let's get right into the video. As always, we like to invite you over to our Discord where you can join in with the largest Hytale community discussing all things Hytale. We host many community events with our most upcoming artwork event being hosted soon. If you are interested in winning a month of Discord Nitro, link is in the description. After such a long silence, Hytale begins their post with a much needed warm welcome, letting us know that this blog post may be a little different than usual. They mention that, instead of focusing on a single feature or big reveal, we're going to round up a selection of work that the team has been doing lately. This is one way that we've been changing up how we approach this blog, and if people enjoy this format, then you can expect us to make much more use of this in the future. Hytale treats us first with a significant graphics update where they explain how their engine developers are continuing to update the technology with such things as water effects, bloom, and much more. This is what they had to say. Hytale is based on a custom engine that has been built from scratch over the last 4 years. This year, our engine developers have continued to develop our technology with new features including real-time shadows, improved water effects, and bloom, and a host of improvements to rendering and particle effects. In this post, we're going to showcase these changes, and then show you how it all comes together in a gameplay clip. But first, a quick note about hardware compatibility. While we've added some exciting new features to the engine, our baseline system requirements haven't actually changed. Hytale will be fully playable on a low-end system with an integrated graphics chip. In fact, many of the features you'll see below will work on integrated Intel GPUs. We are fully aware of how outstanding performance is. However, we'll also provide the option to customize your graphics settings to suit your setup. Despite the progress we've made, everything we're revealing in this post represents a work in progress. The look and the feel of Hytale will keep evolving as we continue to work on the game. Now, you're probably asking, what does all that mean? More or less, we're being informed that the little characteristics that bring the game to life, such as shadows, bloom, water, and of course the particle effects, will be impeccable in detail while maintaining the low-end PC requirements. Of course, we'll show you visuals on these later in the video, so stay tuned! One of the most significant changes to Hytale's look and feel over the last few months has been the addition of cascaded shadow mapping. Characters in the environment now cast detailed shadows that react to the position of the sun and the moon, a change that should be apparent in every screenshot and video clip we post from here on out. But I know you're probably asking yourself right now, what does that mean for shadows exactly? I mean, all games have shadows, but how is Hytale's any different? Well, depending on where the sun or the moon are rising, the shadows will correlate with the position of the sun and the moon, in real time no less. Wow, that's actually pretty amazing. We get a good glimpse of the shadowing from this picture they provide. As you can see, the building shadow reflects towards one way, while every other object that is tall enough to form a shadow follows it. Even with the trees, the leaves are not solid blocks, so you can also see the sun effect peeking through the leaves onto the ground. From this, you can see a large amount of effort was put into the quality of the shadowing, and we think it'll be a great feature while journeying on our adventure while playing the adventure mode in Hytale. Next, the Hytale team shows us a picture with Propsy wielding a weapon, and the shadow of the axe appears as a shadow below him. This is what the Hytale team had to say. Entity shadows reflect the exact shape of a creature or a character in question, including any weapons or gear, and the animation being performed. Now we think this effect will create a ton more realistic moments while playing the game, and we can't wait to see what else the shadow effects will do as the game gets closer and closer to release. When combined with the weather and time of day presets that we outlined in the custom content post, real-time shadows can help produce some atmospheric environments. To get the full effect, however, you have to see it in motion. So here's a time-lapse showing the time of day transition in a variety of settings. Wow, what an amazing clip! One thing to take away from that clip is notice how the light moves with the time of day or night. Then, the Hytale team begins to talk about the marvelous water effects. We've also added additional depth and sophistication to Hytale's water effects with the addition of reflections, refraction, waves, edge withering, and much more. Take a look at the far riverbank in the screenshot above to see how the trees are reflected in the surface of the water. Pretty cool. Continuing, the Hytale team shows us another underwater effect. This is what they had to say about the picture provided. This screenshot demonstrates the benefit of underwater caustics, which have helped to create a more immersive effect while exploring beneath the waves. We're continuing to work on our water tech. These effects are only going to improve between now and launch. Now, the Hytale team explains what is happening in the picture pretty well. However, the aspect they are trying to show off is the reflection that is hitting the character for those who did not know what precisely the Hytale team was pointing out. Bloom and sunshaft effects are another immersion boosting addition that helps bring Hytale's environments to life. In the shot above, you can see both results most clearly in the area around the bison's horns. If you look towards the bison's horns, you'll see the horns are brighter near the top and they darken towards the bottom. You can also see the sunlight brushing off the bison's fur. We at Hytale News cannot wait to see how the bloom and the sunshafts improve as the game continues development. Up next, the Hytale team shares with us a cave scene where we see the effect of sunlight breaking through the cave entrance in Zone 3. They say, the next shot demonstrates the dramatic effect created when sunlight breaks through into an underground environment, in this case one with mysterious sources of light. Please note that sunshafts like these are not currently compatible with integrated graphics cards, but they're an example of what can be achieved with more powerful hardware. Wow! What a jaw-dropping image of a deep cave in Zone 3. We at Hytale News cannot wait to start exploring these eye-appealing caves upon the release of the game. Continuing, after all these game-changing improvements that the Hytale team made towards the game, the blog post does not end there. The Hytale team treats the community with this fantastic image of what looks to be Propsy from Hytale and what seems to be Amber from Hytale as they are walking on some pathway along the river of the amazing Zone 3 atmosphere. And this is what the Hytale team shared about the Zone 3 image. We haven't stopped there. We've also continued to work on particle effects, revamped a huge number of textures, and improved screen space ambient occlusion to create a stronger sense of definition around objects. These changes are hard to demonstrate individually, so instead, here's a series of shots demonstrating the effects that all these engine improvements have when taken all together. First, a pair of adventurers go for a walk in Zone 3. Then, the Hytale team shows us another example of a much more wooded area. And here you can see their shadows in their pure form as they stretch along the whole forest. For the last image, the Hytale team shows us a photograph where Propsy is inside of what looks to be a small hut. You can notice a lot of things in this image, like the empty jars on the top shelf. You can also see the furnace with a tomato, knife, and a cutting board resting on top of it. You can also see a large pot full of water that looks to be boiling over the hot stove. Away from the stove, you notice there seems to be some empty pots left on their own, and next to the containers we can see a weakish looking chair. Behind Propsy, we know it could be a much larger pot and some vines hanging around him, which indicates that the building he is in could be quite old. The last thing we can point out in this image is the different types of windows that will be able to be made. As you can see, the lower window looks to be the regular window as the sun shines through. However, above that, there seems to be a more luxurious window as the sunlight reflection gleams on the back of the wall near Propsy. Now, on to what most of the community deems the most exciting news in this blog post, other than the release date, is the first gameplay clip. And here's what Hytale had to say about the clip. Screenshots and video demonstrations help focus on specific effects, but we understand that the community wants to see how all of this comes together in the game itself. With that in mind, here's a gameplay clip. Note, this one's got sound. Now, for those who've not seen the clip yet, we're going to play the clip once for you, and then afterwards, we'll analyze everything you might have missed while watching it. Wow, what a fantastic clip! Then the Hytale team says this about the clip. We expect this clip to be carefully analyzed, but please bear in mind that everything you see is subject to change, including the combat system, which is in the process of being improved and expanded. Even so, we hope you're enjoying this glimpse into the progress we've made with Hytale's engine throughout 2019. Now, we're going to analyze this clip to the best of our ability. If you notice we miss anything at all, make sure to leave your thoughts in the comments below. The first thing we can see as the clip starts is the hotbar and what it contains. In the number 1 slot, we can see some stone hammer. Next, in the number 2 slot, we know what looks to be a silver steel blade sword. Obviously, in the number 5 slot, we see a potion. The potion looks to be a healing potion because of the red coloring. However, we cannot confirm that is true since the character never used the potion. Following the number 6 slot, the figure is holding 2 cooked chicken bones, and in slot 7, he is holding 1 single torch. Lastly, in slot 9, the character is holding what looks to be a copper harvesting axe, which you can see it again in this image earlier in the blog post. Continuing, the next thing we look at is what is above the hotbar, which is the health bar in the red section. We are currently unsure of what the other 2 bars mean, but we figured the yellowish orange bar is for hunger, and the blue one is for your mana. Next, the characters move outside into the dungeon-looking area. The first thing we notice is the Emerald Grove Ruins objective. The objective in this case is to kill 12 skeletons, which we later find out the mission was not completed. Around 12 seconds into the clip, we see Propsy's point of view, obtaining the first items when slaying the skeleton with his weapon. If you look towards the bottom right, you can see it gives you a small notification that the items are retrieved. After that, Propsy goes up on top of a bridge where he meets a skeleton with a magic weapon. In this case, it's a spellbook. Upon killing the skeleton, Propsy picks up the book from the skeleton and can use it. He begins to power up the spellbook as we see the small loading screen in the middle, and then the magic shoots out. What we noticed from the magic that was different from the sword is that it only took 2 shots to kill the remaining skeleton, so we assume it's more powerful. Once there are no more skeletons in the way of the treasure, Propsy and Ninja Charlotte run up to the rewarding looking chest and retrieve the items inside. Propsy then goes into third person and Ninja Charlotte shows off the item he was able to obtain inside the chest. We notice that this is a sword that we have seen before, named the Fire Sword. It is considered an epic rarity and has a slow attack speed. However, it has a chance to set enemies on fire upon hit. Anyways, that wraps up today's quick video recap of the graphic update blog post. You can follow us on Twitter at Hytale News YT to stay up to date with all new things Hytale and know precisely when a new video drops. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, make sure you leave a like on the video to show your support, and don't forget to subscribe. We will very soon be releasing our next video focusing on the remaining blog posts shared last week. We also have the largest, most active Discord server regarding all things Hytale, so feel free to hop in and join the discussion today. You can help us discuss future video topics and much more. You can find the Discord link in the description below our videos. Again, my name is Natsu, and this has been Hytale News. Catch you later.